Bulk water supplier Rand Water is raising the alarm over the non-payment for water usage by some of the metros in Gauteng. And this comes while water usage is going up. Municipal consumers owe the utility 5.3 billion rand and counting. Rand Water CEO Sipho Mosai joins full view now. Good evening to you and welcome. Rand Water supplies 18 municipalities, 46 mines and almost 959 industrial and direct consumers, to be precise, not only in Gauteng but in Mpumalanga, the Free State and Northern Cape. How does non-payment affect you?
Yeah, good evening, man, and thank you for having us. Of course, non-payment affects us adversely. As Rand Water, we are a water trading entity. Essentially, what we do is that we buy water from the department, purify it, and sell it in bulk to municipalities by and large, as you indicated. As a trading entity, our primary activity is to provide water services to water services institutions. Essentially, as a Schedule 3B company, we are self-funding, as we are on our own. So it's critical that we get paid, not only get paid, but paid in time, because what we do with the revenue that we generate from those tariffs, we cover our costs. Those costs include the cost of buying raw water. As I indicate, we buy every drop from the department. Those costs include the chemicals, electricity that we buy from the municipalities and ESCOM. And therefore, with the bottom line coming out of the revenue after taking out the costs, that cash that we generate, we reinvest back into the business so that we upgrade, we refurbish, we operate and maintain the infrastructure that we have, so that we continue to have water and supply the municipalities, not in the now and in the future.
Yeah.
So if indeed that doesn't come through, it creates a problem in the value chain, not only for our sustainability, but you imagine that if a bulk water service provider like ourselves that plays a critical role is not able to generate the revenue for the purpose of ensuring water supply going forward, it poses serious risk with regards to sustainability of the water sector at large.
So Johannesburg Metro seems to be the only consistent payer right now. Others not so much, and especially being able to pay within a 30-day period, as opposed to some who are, taking at least up to 80 days to pay. Who are the biggest, defaulters?
Yeah, essentially, as you rightfully say, our four biggest revenue spinners, if you like, the municipalities in terms of our top line. You have the city of Joburg. They take just under 40% of our water, followed by Ekurhuleni, Tshwane, and the distant fourth, Mfuleni. As you rightfully say, we've been lucky for a number of years that the city of Joburg has been paying right on the dot within the 31 days prescribed in our bulk service contract that we have with them. Ekurhuleni and Tshwane have been struggling. Leading up to COVID and beyond, they've been having serious challenges, but they're currently sitting at about 60 days in terms of our debtors book. The biggest challenge is with Mfuleni. Mfuleni is sitting in a figure of about 200 debtors days. It's coming against the backdrop of high debtors days of about 365. So Mfuleni is the biggest, if you like, debtors in terms of our debtors book. Well, so the biggest challenge is already Mfuleni.
And what are their reasons?
Well, I just think, in our view, what we have seen, it's with this economic downturn that has characterized not only South Africa, but the world at large. The municipalities have fallen into that as well. Certainly with Tshwane and Ekurhuleni, they start having a bit of a more pinch and challenge as a result of COVID. What we have done from our side, we have intervened so that we assist them. We have revised our payment period. Instead of paying all the debt within 30 days, we allowed them to pay about 60% of that and the remainder on the 17 interest holidays. So we have put together a suite of package to assist them to come out of it. But our view is also because some of the challenges that characterize municipalities from a water point of view are non-revenue water. Municipalities, by and large, in our area of operation, lose on average, as Water Research Commission has told us, 30% of the water that we supply them. So you would imagine if you have to pay 100% of the water that is supplied to you, but you're losing 30%, you only have 70% to pay water services providers like ourselves. So I think the biggest challenge in our view, and that is why we are working as part of the water room that was established by the minister, and together with other initiatives that we have put together and in place to assist them in this regard, is to look at implementation of water conservation and demand management that include fixing those leaks. So I think the challenge is exactly that. It deals with the economic hardships that characterize their consumers, but of course the issue of leaks is the one that is the main contributor in terms of their inability to service their debts on time.
Are you expecting to run at a loss this financial year?
No, we're not. We're hoping not to run at a loss this financial year. I think for us, we don't want to wait until we have a crisis or a disaster. As you say, run at a loss. I think we have a strongly balanced, enough balance sheet to take us and weather the storm, at least for this financial year. But in the outer years, we'll certainly have serious challenges. So our view is that we need to intervene now and ensure that we are paid in time and are able to also service our debts. Water is Johannesburg Security Exchange, that listed company. We issue bonds for the purpose of upgrading our infrastructure together with the cash flow we generate from our operations. And we need to remain sustainable in that regard going forward. So we don't anticipate in this current financial year to run at a loss, but we have already seen an erosion in our gross profit margin. Our gross profit margin usually stands at about 34%, but now it's going 30%, is going the wrong way. So it is a matter of serious concern. It will catch up with us certainly in the long term.
Well, let's just quickly have a word on, the ongoing water provision here in the city of Johannesburg and some of the problems that have been experienced in terms of supply. What can you tell us is the latest on that score?
Yeah, the latest, as at least yesterday, all suburbs in municipalities are having water, have been receiving water. I think as at about Friday, only an area in Johannesburg we're having challenges through the commando system that supplies that area. But as I indicated in a media conference and the press briefing the other day, is that during this peak demand, we have been pumping. In fact, contrary to what the others have been saying, we have not been reducing what we've been pumping and adding more water into the system. I think the challenge is that when it's hot, the municipalities drop, consume a lot more water, and the reservoirs drop, and as the reservoir drop, they don't have enough head, and water doesn't reach the high-lying areas, because also of high consumption in the low-lying areas. But as we speak now, it's all system go.
Thank you for talking to us, Water CEO Sipho Mosai.